The problem with you is you're whining like a little fucking baby.
What's going on, fam? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode of Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, if you want your question featured right here on the show, drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I will get to them as soon as I can. We're doing great. Oh, before we get started, I'm sure you already know, but make sure to go and subscribe to the Daily Swole right here on YouTube so you can catch the live streams every single day. If you love these episodes, you're going to love the daily podcast. Go subscribe, hit the bell, go. I'll wait. I'll be here when you get back. Okay, good. All right, let's get started with the first question. Without further ado, this one is from Hello and Hi. Papa Swolio, I've lost 40 pounds and finally reached my goal weight. Congratulations. How do I go back to maintenance calories? I'm afraid of gaining the weight back. You have to track. Now, I'm a big proponent of the elimination diet and the quality of the food, but it doesn't discount the fact that energy balance exists. So it's best if you measure and you track and you observe what you're eating and you build the habit of knowing what you're eating. You eventually can build that intuitive eating aspect where you know how much food on a certain plate and how many calories that is, but you need to put in the due diligence and understand how many calories you're consuming. That way you don't accidentally overeat. But you didn't lose the weight overnight. You're not going to put it back on overnight. You're not going to accidentally, eat an extra half a potato and put back on 40 pounds. That's over a long period of time. So if you're doing what you should be doing, you're paying attention, you'll be just fine. Don't worry about it. Question from Lala Mew Art. Papa Swolio, do you have any tips for new upcoming personal trainers? My big push whenever I get this question is for you to shadow someone. Now, there's tons of information online and there's tons of information in books. Now, I have a degree in exercise science. I've held the top certifications, CSCS, NSCA, CSCS, the Certified Strength Conditioning Specialist. I've also held the NASM CPT. I taught for NASM for 4 years. I taught those certifications, CES, PS, that's corrective and performance enhancement. So I've done all the certification stuff. And a lot of those companies are just money pits because they just want you to keep on reading their journals, take their quizzes, and keep on paying them every single year in order to maintain your certification. So it's good information, but what's really going to keep you going long term? It's going to be your own self-education and the application of that information. Now, I love the information in personal training content in the books and the textbooks, but a lot of that doesn't apply into real life. A lot of it isn't going to keep your clients excited. A lot of it isn't going to help you with your business. So you have to really shadow and learn the sales aspect of a business. I mean, personal training is a personal business. So you have to understand the insurance and the legal ramifications of some of what you're coaching, how to not cross out of your bounds, stay in your lane, not providing nutritional information and referring to a physician when necessary, and how to spot and all those things that you need hands-on guidance for. So I would recommend going to a local facility, searching out and maybe getting references from reputable personal trainers in your area, and then offering your services for free. Ask if you can shadow them, if you can carry weights, if you can observe, if you can sit in when they talk with clients, when they do assessments. Learn by doing and learn by experience. Like from my experience, I wish I did more shadowing when I started because it would have fast-tracked my hands-on experience, not just, the textbook experience. So a lot of people are book smart, but they don't know how to translate that to clients. So I would recommend doing that as well. Question from Kelsey Smith. Papa Swolio, what are your thoughts on Orange Theory Fitness? I think that those kind of pop-up shop gyms where it's just like a small room, it fits into any kind of shopping mall. It's a great franchise setup, which is why it's grown so fast. But in terms of actual fitness, there's no personal attention. You're doing treadmill, TRX, rowing. It's like a very cyclical group exercise type atmosphere. It gets people off the couch. So it's a start. But if you really want to personalize your fitness and take your training to the next level, I would say it's a good start. It might be too much for some people. It depends on the trainers that specific Orange Theory has in place, because as any gym or any trainer, the people are different. Some Orange Theories are probably going to be crap. Some might be actually great. It depends on who's there. So make sure you take your training there and your progress with a grain of salt, and don't be shocked if you plateau from all that cardio type training and you might have to go off on your own and progress and advance yourself at your own pace. That's one of the downfalls of group exercise, is that it's not individualized to your specific needs necessarily. Question from Jared Cohen. Papa Swolio, do you really do the Daily Swole podcast every single day? Have you ever missed a day? And the answer is yes and no. I do it every single day on the Daily Swole channel right here on YouTube, and I have never missed a single day. As of the time of this filming, we have 1,216 episodes. So tomorrow, at the time of filming, is going to be episode 1,217. So consistency is key. Question from Mel Boycev. Papa Swolio, what's the first step to an elimination diet? The first step is determining what kind of elimination you want to do. You can do a full-blown elimination diet. That's really essentially what the carnivore diet is. It's an extreme elimination. But you can also eliminate one food at a time. The problem with doing only one food, let's say only eliminating dairy while you're still consuming grains, while you're still consuming other processed things, is that you're not necessarily going to know or pinpoint exactly what's going on. The best type of elimination is one that eliminates as many foods that could be problematic as possible. That way you can add them in one at a time after your 4 to 6 weeks of elimination, and you're better able to pinpoint which foods are optimal for you. If you only remove one, if the problem doesn't go away, it doesn't mean that that food wasn't also causing it or contributing, but you didn't necessarily remove something else that could also be a factor. So the more you remove, the more you eliminate, the more you can test and the more you'll find out. Proper nutrition is more about what you take away more than what you add. There isn't like, hey, I have bloating, I have pain, I have all these issues. If I add this food, everything's going to go away. No, it's more about what you take away more than what you add. Question from Oscar Penaloza. Papa Swolio, I have a passion for fitness, and so I made a YouTube channel, but I don't know what kind of videos to make. There's already plenty of info out there. How do I make something original or make myself stand out? Well, if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like an anomaly. But the problem is you don't want to be inauthentic. You don't want to be outlandish and be ridiculous and swear like I do and put nuts on chin and balls deep and all this stuff if it's not authentic to who you are. The reason why I can be so consistent, the reason why I have so much content that I can make and I'm never short of content, which I'm grateful for, is because I'm being myself. It's my sense of humor. It's my approach. It's my information. It's my opinion. So I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I actually started with driving while gaining because I was driving, I was training clients, and I needed to film, and I didn't have a lot of time. So I'm like, hey, I'll film in my car. And then it grew and grew into the ranting and raving playlist that it is today. But you have to make videos that are right for you, and don't think that it's oversaturated. That's one of the big problems. If I didn't start, I started making a lot of content in 2016. I could have easily said there's so much fitness content. Who needs more? You know, who needs more fitness content? But the world didn't realize that it was missing old Papa Swolio. No one can replace me, just like no one can replace you. So if you build an audience for your type of content and you're being authentic to yourself and to your audience, then you are irreplaceable. So you have to do what's right for you. And I would say just start filming, just start telling your story, start giving your background, maybe what you're passionate about. Do like maybe just little vlogs like this, talking to the camera, introduce yourself to the audience. It's gonna take a long time to build traction. It's not easy. Still not easy for me. It's a lot of work, and you just got to practice, be consistent, and if you really want it bad enough, don't quit. Question from Danny Cornell. Papa Swolio, I have mobility issues in my shoulder from nerve and muscle damage. I can't do the floor Cobra. Anything you recommend instead? Well, I would recommend doing any type of scapular depression and external rotation movement. So the floor Cobra is great for core activation because it keeps your hips stable when you squeeze your glutes, and it teaches your upper body to work synergistically with that newly stabilized hip. So any other movement that you can do, maybe external rotations, maybe band work for your posterior rotator cuff, maybe scapular depressions on a lat pull down or something like that. I can't speak on your specific nerve and muscle damage. You could also talk to a therapist or your physician. I would also recommend, because I am not there and I can't, hey, try this, hey, try this. You'd have to poke around, but the benefits of a Cobra is to work on kind of unrolling that upper cross syndrome. So it pulls your shoulders back. It helps with scapular retraction and depression, and also external rotation, that posterior rotator cuff in your shoulder joint. So any other exercise that work those areas, even in segments or some type of integrated fashion, will be beneficial to you. Question from DD5 Reaper. Papa Swolio, every 3 to 4 months, I seem to get these massive migraines every time I work out. Should I push through it or just rest? Also, is it dangerous to work out with a crazy headache like that? Danger is relative. It's definitely not comfortable. So whenever I get a headache, I usually take it easy or I leave. Now, headaches can come from dehydration. It can come from lack of sleep and fatigue. It could also come from maybe a nutrient deficiency or maybe an inflammatory food, something that you're eating that maybe is causing a sensitivity reaction like a headache. So every 3 to 4 months, you just get them all the time. I kind of need a little bit more context, but I'm also not a medical doctor, so I couldn't tell you if there's anything wrong. You might want to get that checked out. But also, if you haven't done an elimination diet, I would highly recommend it because migraines are closely tied for many people with what they eat. Dairy is a common cause, gluten's a common cause of that. So you might want to do an elimination diet and see if that improves. Question from Sam Tay. Papa Swolio, how long do you usually meditate, or how long should someone who's new to meditation meditate? You can do 5 minutes, you can do 20 minutes, you can do 5 hours. But for someone who's new to it, it's gonna be really hard for you to do just 5 or 10 minutes because it's a practice. And you're gonna have to get used to being still and focusing on one thing. So it's really good to start with a guided meditation app. That way you can learn the process and get more comfortable with being still. So you can go on the App Store and download a couple. Some good meditation guided apps are Headspace and Waking Up with Sam Harris. Those are 2 good ones. And also we have a whole brain gain section inside Swolenormous X where I walk people through meditation sessions. So if you're interested, you can learn more at swolenormousx.com or check out one of those apps in the App Store. That's what I would recommend. Question from Marilyn Rogers. Papa Swolio, is it true that you need to eat protein within 30 minutes after working out? That is the anabolic window, and no, you don't have to eat it right after. It's all about your total caloric intake and what you're getting in over the course of days, several days and weeks and stuff like that. So I used to leave the gym, protein shake and all that stuff. I don't do that stuff anymore. I go home and I eat. If you're not hungry right after, you can wait a little bit, but to have it right immediately after and be leaving the gym and chugging it, you don't have to do that. So do what's comfortable for you. Just make sure you're getting in your overall caloric intake, protein values and stuff over the course of the day, and you'll be fine. Question from Annabelle Guerrero. Papa Swolio, I was thinking of becoming a personal trainer, but I don't look that fit and I need to lose extra weight. Should I get fit first and then be a personal trainer? Well, you can study and learn and get certified, but you want to practice what you preach. So if you can't get yourself in shape, how are you going to help other people do the same thing? That's not necessarily the case. Just because you're not in the best shape doesn't mean you can't get other people in great shape. But think about that for advertising. Would you hire someone who doesn't look in shape to get you in shape? Would you hire someone who's broke and terrible with money to manage your finances? It's one of those things. So it doesn't mean that it's not possible, but it's definitely not the best look for someone who's going to be promoting health. So I would focus on you. You can study, you can learn, absorb everything, and you can even start working, but definitely focus on working and doing it yourself. That way you have personal experience on how it feels to make those changes, but also you're a walking billboard for your own business. So it's just the way it is. Question from Carolyn Gage. Papa Swolio, how important is knowing your 1 rep max? I don't know my 1 rep max. I don't like to test my 1 rep max because it's very high risk and the reward is next to nothing. You don't need to do a 1 rep max. What you can do is look at one of those charts online that will approximate your 1 rep max. So let's say you do a certain weight, let's say 200 pounds, 8 times, and the 8th one was the last rep you could possibly do. You can look at a chart and it will approximate your 1 repetition max. So you can see if you're getting stronger. But to actually go and do a 1 rep max in like the risk reward, it's just not worth it in my opinion. Question from Violaine Donnie. Papa Swolio, love your work. Why, thank you. What would be the consequences for your body if you maintained a 600 calorie intake per day, eating 1 meal per day for several years with an active life, working in a hospital, walking a lot? Does that mean you? That's not healthy. No human being should be eating 600 calories a day. You're gonna have major problems. You're probably gonna have hormone problems. You're probably gonna have real major fatigue and nutrient deficiencies. 600 calories is way too low. Question from Tony under 20. Papa Swolio, what are some glute activation exercises that are easier on the knees, i.e. not squats? Well, squats are not glute activation exercises, so you don't have to worry about that anyway. I would do hip bridges, either 2-leg or single leg. You could also do lateral tube walks are fantastic. You could do single leg balance reach. You can Google that. I have a couple of these exercises on my blog on swolenormousx.com, but glute activation and an activation exercise is an isolation exercise, and a squat is a compound movement that works the hips, the ankles, and the knees. So it's actually not an isolation exercise. You want to isolate and then integrate with a movement like a squat combined with an upper body movement. But don't worry about that. If you're just worried about glute activation, stick with a proper hip bridge, focus on that peak contraction, suck your stomach in, practice yoga, it's fantastic, and always keep that nice posterior pelvic tilt and squeeze that booty. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Question from Regina Morano. Papa Swolio, I really enjoy your content. Why, thank you. I've been doing yoga for a year and I feel really good, but I want to add a little muscle, but I don't like going to the gym. Any recommendations for building muscle at home or outdoors? Well, you need resistance. Building muscle is progressive overload. So either you need to do body weight exercises and increase the resistance by doing single leg push-ups versus 2-leg push-ups, or changing from an incline push-up to a regular level push-up. So you can progress it by doing slower repetitions, more time under tension, or you get some weights and do it at home. I mean, a gym is as arbitrary as doing weights at home. Some of you watching this, you could drop in the comments below, you have a whole home gym and you can recommend maybe some equipment that she could use at home that would be inexpensive, and share your personal setup rather than me just go over all the options, because you could get some simple weights and put on muscle. But like anything else, if you only get 15 pounds, eventually those 15 pounds are going to get light and your body's not going to adapt anymore. You need to go heavier and heavier. A gym just makes it convenient because they have all the weights there and you don't have to buy them all. So either you pay more up front and build a home gym, or build it one part at a time, or you pay less on a monthly basis, for example, at a gym, and they have all the equipment for you and you pretty much just rent it all. Whether or not you like going to the gym, you don't have to build muscle for sure, but it depends on what your experience is with training and what equipment you have available at home. You could definitely build muscle with body weight, but you're going to plateau and there's only so much you can build. Depends on how much you want to build, but don't play around. Like, you're a female, I just want to build a little bit of muscle. Building muscle is never easy, so be prepared to work hard and train hard, but you can absolutely build muscle at home. Well, thank you so much everyone for joining me for this episode of Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, if you want your question featured right here on the show, drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I'll get to them in an upcoming episode. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy, and make sure you subscribe to The Daily Swole right here on YouTube. That way you can catch the live streams every single day, and we do a weekly Q&A on Sunday titled the Sunday Funday Q&A-ness. So if you want real interaction, real live interaction, ask me questions every single week, go subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you every single day, and also for the Q&A sessions on Sunday. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Click the link, motherfucker! Click the link! Click the link! Watch another video, like and subscribe. I know you want to. You know you want to. Come on, everyone knows you want to. You love Papa Swolio. You love the man bun. You love the sick bugging gains. You love it. Oh, oh, oh. You love it. Oh, 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 oh.